This is Sidney Omarr, and this is about you, Leo, born from July 23rd to August 22nd. You were born under the fifth sign of the zodiac. The sun is regarded as your significator. Leo belongs to the fire element and is a fixed sign. Almost everyone connected with astrology praises Leo. That's because Leo entertains us, sustains us. Leo is creative, and Leo is the natural showman. But Leo can also be stubborn and arrogant. Like all signs, there is a positive and a negative side to Leo. I have written extensively about your sign in my book, Astrology, Its Role in Your Life. Among other things, Leo is the sign of romance, of love, speculation, creativity, attractiveness to the opposite sex. Leo is magnetism, fire, shooting from the hip. Born under this dynamic sign, you are impulsive, you attract attention. On the positive side, you are the showman, the producer, the individual who is able to entertain, explain, and make numerous subjects and persons popular. On the negative side, you try to substitute showmanship for real knowledge. You become superficial, trying to cover up with explanations, frills, bright colors, and sayings. Now listen, Leo. Love is of paramount importance. As a matter of fact, you're in love with love. But you tend to experiment and to defeat your own purpose by flitting from one person to the next. Some would say you tend to have numerous affairs. But each time, Leo, you are basically in search, searching for fulfillment. Your basic nature is romantic, and at times it is hard to distinguish between illusion and reality, where you and love are concerned. You find someone only to feel the search is beginning instead of ending. You continue attracting colorful persons, situations, conditions. You often burn out at a relatively early age because you burn the candle at both ends. Listen, Leo, you are attracted to luxury. You want the good life, and quite often you don't care what it costs. This being so, there is a strong tendency toward extravagance. Then one day you awaken to ask, where did the money go? Fortunately, you have remarkable stamina. You're able to come back, to think on your feet, to utilize showmanship, to make the old appear new and interesting. On the negative side, this love of luxury can turn to a kind of self-indulgence, to laziness. Now, that is, you want others to be aware of you, and this comes out in a kind of languid, subtle sort of demand. For example, Mae West was born under Leo, and who ever heard this colorful, brilliant woman ever say she would be down to see you? No, indeed. It's always been, you come up and see me sometime, the trademark of Leo Mae West. Incidentally, other celebrities born under your sign include Robert Taylor, Sylvia Sidney, and Robert Mitchum. Leo is associated with the back and the heart, and you do put your heart into projects. Often you are too idealistic, almost taking for granted that others will understand that your motives are pure. And Leo, just as often, you are apt to have a rude awakening. You discover that animosity has been aroused, that others can be jealous, that they can smile to your face but seethe inwardly with resentment. Then, when the opportunity presents itself, they strike, and you are dumbfounded. You wonder why. But as you age, as you gain experience, you learn not to lead with your right. You learn, in other words, to keep your guard up. You have pride. It can be your greatest asset and your fault. You are creative. You want to start from scratch and build. You would tear down tradition if it kept you from expressing yourself. You are loyal, and you expect others to display this trait. Unfortunately, some feel they have been slighted. You see, your sun significator has been too hot to handle, and some relationships cool before you are aware of it. The same applies to your love affairs. Perhaps we could put it this way, too hot not to cool off. The late great astrologer Grant Louis said this about you: Leo is not one to hide his light under a bushel. He wishes to be seen, to be recognized, to take his part in the world which he loves, and as return of his love of the world, the necessary complement is that the love, respect, esteem of the world come back to him. Grant Louis also said that if Leo loves a woman, her love must complement his. If he loves the world, the analogy holds. Grant Louis concluded by saying that Leo at his best merits recognition and expects to get it, which is a significantly different thing from the negative Leo seeking of recognition as a thing in itself. Listen, Leo, you want to be something, to amount to something, to be known, to be recognized. You adore the good things. You want fame. You appreciate it in others. You tend to construct idols, and you tend to be an idol in the eyes of others. By the same token, some would like to see you topple, and often on the negative plane you aid this desire by overindulgence, by becoming complacent, by being fixed in your views, your attitudes, by taking for granted that always your light will shine even if no step is taken to recharge the battery. When I consider your sign, Leo, I know you have an abundance of so-called natural talent. You are attractive, you want to lead the way, but it is possible that you neglect details or fail to learn your job from the bottom up. You then feign impatience, lack of interest. You say, in effect, that's too easy for me even to attempt, or too boring, or too elementary. It is important that you be truthful with yourself. And Leo, when you face the truth squarely, you must try to do something about correcting faults which include lack of patience, inability to handle mechanical or other subjects which require the ability to concentrate. You see, Leo, you are great when it comes to viewing projects as a whole, but you can neglect essentials. You want others to catch up to you, but other people are aware of details and may not want to blithely skip ahead. It is up to you to help, to exhibit a greater degree of patience, sympathy. One of your greatest needs, as I have said, is recognition. Now listen, Leo, it's no secret that you require praise, appreciation, the proverbial pat on the back. Physical contact is of extreme importance. You are passionate, giving, and Leo, you expect others to respond, and you want that response in your way. You are often too receptive when it comes to affairs of the heart. And also, Leo, I must tell you, you have a tendency to become comfortable. You want others to do the work, to win you, to praise, to warm you up. You want others to bask in your glow when, if the truth be known, you should be doing something to get the fire banked, to get it going, to emanate heat from the blaze, not a mere brightness. You are easily spoiled, maneuvered, put in a position where the fixity of your sign is transformed into a rut. You need change, but find it difficult to bring about. You require variety, but you love the comforts of life, and Leo, you tend to stay put when your logic dictates that a change is essential. You have a deep, sincere appreciation of the creative arts. You want to be in. You want to be where the action is. You do not only want to be a part of your time, but to influence the times. Your wants are many. They are complicated, grand, high, expansive, and expensive. You would be the first to admit that money tends to burn a hole in your pocket. Yet you chide yourself for having so little to show for your efforts. Still in all, Leo, it is difficult for you to learn lessons of thrift or even temporary self-denial. You enjoy bright lights, but you can feel alone in a crowd. A handshake, a gesture of recognition of goodwill from just one person can cause you to rise to the heights. You are the natural entertainer, but you want to be something more. You want to be recognized as an interpreter of the times, a writer, even a symbol. You can be noble, big in the best sense. You bring entertainment to the world, and you like to laugh. One of your greatest enemies is depression. When you are depressed, Leo, you're like an athlete trying for a hit during a dry spell. You press, You become tense. You seek a confidant. You want not only sympathy, but encouragement, praise. You are never satisfied with halfway measures. When you fight, it's a grand battle. When you love, the sparks must fly, the flames must be ignited into bonfires. Here are some hints for women about Leo men. The Leo man attracts women with unique personalities, talents, problems. A Leo man is fiery and romantic. He demands attention and can become jealous, offended, or aloof if he feels you regard him as anything less than kingly. Remember, ladies, it's not enough for the Leo man to be good at what he's doing. He also wants to be told he's good. He's a sucker for flattery. He is warm, affectionate. You can twist him around your little finger if you tell him he's great. The Leo man is attractive to women. He likes to have them around. The best way to hold the Leo man is to be dramatic in a quiet way. He is fascinated by subtle women. If you shout, if you are crude, you could lose him. But try this. Wipe away a tear, then hold up your chin as if nothing happened. Be sure, however, that he sees you wipe that tear away. He'll melt. He'll change from a lion into a purring kitten. Listen, ladies, he's a rather impossible man. He wants to be proud of you. He believes in equal rights for men and women, but he expects you to believe that he's just a bit superior and wants you to show it by a subtle squeeze of his hand. I said he was difficult, even impossible, but at least, ladies, you've now had fair warning. Here are some tips for men about Leo women. These women have a flair for the dramatic. The Leo woman is not interested in the humdrum, the ordinary, the routine, or the sameness of anything. The Leo woman lives life as if a spotlight was turned fully on. This is not to say she is an exhibitionist, but she wants you to be aware of her. Listen, men, the Leo woman is aware, sensitive, alert, dramatic. She wants you to be demonstrative, a touch, a gesture, an expression, a secret signal. These are important to a woman born under this sign. Stand up when she enters a room. Request her favorite song. Smile in a special way. Make it plain that what you do is especially for her. Let her know she occupies your thoughts. The Leo woman's personal magnetism is strong. She attracts the opposite sex. Know this and make yourself a fascinating challenge. All of this may tire you, but you learn and live and love through your relationship with a Leo woman. Male or female, you could smother a loved one. You almost expect a mirror, the image of yourself. At the same time, you want your beloved to represent the world. You want to be adored by your loved one, but in that loved one you see the world. You, Leo, are obviously not the easiest person to live with, but you do possess many assets which many persons consider an equal balance. In other words, you have a way of getting people to put up with you, and this is due to your fiery magnetism, due to the fact that you have the unique ability to inspire others and to inspire their confidence in you. These, Leo, are no small assets. They are big ones, and in this respect you are fortunate. The late, great, and inspired astrologer Evangeline Adams said this about you. People with the sun in Leo are not only strong themselves, but shed forth this strength on others. It is, she said, the most magnetic of the signs. Perhaps in consequence of this, the disposition is usually masterful and may possibly, in some cases, become almost tyrannical. Listen, Leo, you have so much. You tend to be careless with your assets. Because of this, your generosity can deteriorate into extravagance. Your showmanship can turn into an offensive kind of shrill cry amounting to, "Never mind him, listen to me." You are in danger, Leo, when the challenge is gone, when your job or lover becomes too easy. Sensing this, without being able to put your finger on it, you tend to make things difficult for yourself. You complicate your own life and your loves. You become careless both with money and your energies. When this happens, you could go to extremes, including the areas of eating, drinking, emotional responses. Check your motives, your feelings, your thoughts, ambitions. Locate your actual goal, aim for it, not for something else. There is no need for you to miss the mark. The only person who causes you to go off the track is you, Leo. Don't be sidetracked because you feel your need for self-expression isn't being fulfilled. Be constructive, move in the right direction, do something to correct the situation. This is a far cry from merely doing anything to shake up people. Leo, I think you have a positively uncanny talent for creating unhappiness for yourself. You don't seem to be able to bask in the present, to appreciate it. Instead, you look back to the past or ponder about the future. But Leo, what about today, the right now of it? Let the past lie buried. Permit the future to unravel, to come, to unfold, to make its appearance. After all, you will agree that you can't cause water to boil any faster by staring at it and becoming tense. I have written about you in this manner, Leo, and I want to repeat it here because it is meaningful. You have, I think, a tendency to lose all sense of timing when it comes to properly placing your affection. For example, you meet the right person, but at the wrong time. You are generous, giving, a romantic lover, but with the so-called wrong person. It is therefore necessary to analyze yourself and to find out what within you triggers this kind of situation. Now, one expert on astrology and sex, the late Vivian Robeson, says this may be due to misplaced affection, unwise and impetuous lovemaking. Well, that, among other things, is part of you, Leo, and part of what makes you such a fascinating, dynamic, magnetic, and challenging individual. The numbers associated favorably with your sign are 1, 9, and 8. Your gems are ruby and diamond. Your color is orange, and your metal is gold. This is Sidney Omarr, and this is about you, Leo, born from July 23rd to August 22nd, and how you relate to the other zodiacal signs. Your sign is favorably associated with Gemini, Libra, Aries, and Sagittarius. Leo is not favorably aspected to Taurus, Scorpio, or Aquarius. Your sign is considered neutral in relation to Cancer, Virgo, Capricorn, and Pisces. In relation to another Leo, the combination is fiery, but the tendency is for the relationship to quickly burn out. Aries individuals attract you physically, spur you to greater efforts, and can be instrumental in gaining for you the recognition you so sorely desire. They do this through publication, publicity, through singing your praises. And Leo, when anyone flatters you, you respond. Aries tends to inspire you. Aries touches that part of your chart associated with ideals, travel, writing, publishing. With Aries, some of your best qualities come forth, including originality, independence, confidence, the daring to break new ground and to articulate constructive ideas. You are inspired by Aries. You are intrigued, and you go all out to impress Aries. The trouble, Leo, is that your feet tend to leave the ground, which means that you neglect practical affairs for the overall project or campaign. Listen, Leo, Aries is favorable but tends to wear you out. Your Sun significator and the Mars of Aries catch fire. You are on the go, but the key is to constructively direct your energies. If you can do this, then the Aries relationship is fine. Otherwise, it is tiring, and you require a new supply of vitamins. With Taurus, you tend to get bogged down. The goal is there, it is visible, clear, but you get sidetracked. Taurus tends to make you stick to routine, to get the job done from the bottom up. But Leo, you often want to take the other route, to finish from the top to the bottom. Naturally, there is apt to be conflict. Taurus keeps an eye on the budget. You want to spend with the idea that all experience ultimately is worthwhile. But Taurus wants the cards on the table face up. Taurus wants to see, to feel, to be specific. You want the overall view, and with Taurus, a compromise is made which tends to water down any so-called master plan. Listen, Leo, you need Taurus to keep you striving toward your goal, to elevate your standing in the community and in your professional endeavors. But you must utilize your natural fire and drive and not permit it to be buried. So, with Taurus, the key is to achieve a balance between practicality and creativeness. This is not necessarily easy, but dealing with a Taurian isn't easy for anyone, especially a Leo. Avoid fooling yourself. Don't try to reform the Taurian or force him to do things your way. If you do, there is conflict and little else. Win your way with Taurus. Be patient, and then you actually are aided by this relationship. Taurus is stubborn, so is Leo. Together, the combination is interesting, but might not get off the ground. If, however, it does, then there is every likelihood that both the Taurus and the Leo will benefit. With Gemini, you are active, inspired. Social contacts improve, and there is a genuine attraction here. Self-improvement programs work both ways here. Gemini tries to improve you, and you try to improve Gemini. The Gemini individual touches that part of your chart related to hopes, wishes, friends. Your fantasies are affected by Gemini and could be subject to revision. Gemini is active, associated with Mercury, and this combines with your Leo Sun in a manner which ignites ideas, travel, speculation, plans, reports, and writing. Much attention centered on luxury, beauty, domestic problems when Gemini and Leo get together. The relationship is generally harmonious despite emotional fireworks. You tend, Leo, to expect too much of Gemini. You expect a sense of humor, charm, versatility. But often, when these qualities are forthcoming, you interpret them as forms of restlessness, dissatisfaction, or flightiness. Gemini appeals to you because Gemini flatters you, and as we've said, Leo, when you're flattered, you find it difficult, if not impossible, to resist. You admire the quickness of the Gemini mind. You are fascinated by the friends you meet through Gemini. In turn, Gemini is apt to meet his match in you where travel, ideas, general rebelliousness is concerned. To put it succinctly, Gemini and Leo are a match for each other. Whether they are a good match depends, of course, on background, environment, and the more sophisticated points in each horoscope, a general chart comparison. But overall, the combination is favorable. Leo loves the bright lights, flattery, excitement. Gemini provides these in abundance. Listen, Leo, you can gain pleasure through this relationship, and it could be a lasting one. Don't give it up without much thought, consideration, and projection into future possibilities. In relation to the zodiacal sign Cancer, you are attracted due to an air of mystery and because you associate Cancer persons with glamour, physical attractiveness, the good life such as fine food, drink, and cultural attainment. With Cancer, you strive for material goods, for power, for security. This is because Cancer persons touch that part of your solar horoscope connected with uncertainty, mystery, puzzles, and in so doing cause you to go after solutions, to be aware of a need to save for a time when money might not be so easily forthcoming. There is basic attraction here. The Cancer moon and your sun represent symbols of attraction, male and female, hot and cold, fire and water, want and plenty. You have, to put it briefly, an appetite for each other. With Cancer, you become concerned with groups, clubs, institutions, and restrictions. There is also an element of the clandestine where you are concerned. There are expenditures which you consider of a private nature. You don't want to necessarily reveal them. The Cancer person mystifies you. You see in this individual many persons, mother, lover, cook, and provider. Cancer hits that part of your chart associated with secret fears, phobias, duties, pleasant and otherwise. Listen, Leo, you love mystery, intrigue. Cancer provides it, and if Cancer is smart, you'll hang around a long time trying to figure things out. You need this person in your life, at least part of the time, if not all of the time. In connection with Virgo, there is a feeling that money is involved. Listen, Leo, Virgo persons affect your finances. They try to help you, but often you resent the aid and go on a spending binge. Virgo touches that part of your chart directly associated with money, possessions, valuables. Virgo makes you aware of domestic and money responsibilities. There is harmony and a degree of attraction, but it's like taking strong drink or very sweet sweets. You want more, it tastes like more, and you press, and Virgo presses, and if not careful, there is an explosion, a separation. That's Leo and Virgo. That's the Leo Sun and the Virgo Mercury, the two combining to light with ideas and plans, the danger always being the light will become so bright it will burn out. With Virgo, you become aware of your bank account or lack of it. Virgo has ideas, prods, criticizes. At times, the criticism is constructive if you will only pay heed. Listen, Leo, where you tend to be flamboyant, Virgo tends to be conservative. Where you tend to leap first and think later, Virgo tends to analyze, to draw deductions before jumping to any conclusions. As a combination, the two signs are basically neutral, but can be favorable if you are willing to conserve health and money. In all, the association is full of sparks, and one could ignite into a permanent relationship. With Libra, you may be confused, but you are stimulated. And for you, stimulation is the spice of life, Leo. It makes the wheels go round, gets the creative juices flowing. That, Leo, is what Libra can do for you. Listen, Leo, there could be a lack of solidity in this relationship. Of course, we know we're dealing with sun signs, and that a complete horoscope takes much more than the sun positions into consideration. But basically, the solar horoscope does tell a great deal. For example, it tells us that Leo and Libra are compatible, but that you, Leo, tend to deceive yourself in this relationship. You scatter your forces, you run hither and yon, you thrive on the excitement, the beauty, the romance. It is Leo being in love with love all over again. What I am saying is that you must strive for a more practical approach if this relationship is to succeed into something of lasting value. Libra touches that part of your chart related to journeys, ideas, neighbors, hobbies, mental pursuits, the ability to take apparently unrelated facts and blend them into a story. Bright conversation is a feature of any Leo-Libra association. Very pleasant for much of the time, but Leo, sometimes the edge becomes sharp, perhaps sharp enough to develop a cutting edge. Basically, the stimulation of such an association is favorable. You have a great sympathy for Libra, and Leo, you revere intelligence. This being the case, the right kind of Libran certainly could be the right person for you. In connection with Scorpio, these people are conscious of your security, or make you aware of what you plan to do later in life. With Scorpio, you are aware of property, home, special projects. Listen, Leo, with Scorpio you pile up experiences, some pleasant, some not so pleasant. The important thing is that these are meaningful experiences which become transformed to memories and help shape future actions and reactions. You learn with Scorpio. You probe, examine, become aware of your environment, and perhaps do something to change it. With Scorpio, the tendency is for Leo to make changes, to analyze, to deduce, to come to conclusions based on questions which are answered. Scorpio can be mysterious, and Leo is fascinated by mystery. Leo sheds light while Scorpio tends to obscure it. In this way, Leo and Scorpio are somewhat opposite, and so there is attraction and there are also obstacles. Scorpio and Leo in business could do well in connection with real estate, for example. In personal life, there are contradictions. Emphasis is on home and security, but there is also a drive toward change and travel. You could, Leo, become resentful of certain responsibilities or restrictions. You could have a feeling of being tied down, and Leo isn't easily tied down. An unusual combination, the Pluto of Scorpio, the Sun of Leo, the water of Scorpio, and the fire of Leo. Where Sagittarius is concerned, you are physically attracted to these persons, and often they arouse jealousy in you. Listen, Leo, you can become an easy victim of jealousy, and Sagittarius touches that part of your solar chart related to sex, children, amusement, change, variety, creative endeavors. Your emotional and romantic tendencies are stressed with Sagittarius. You can have a fine time with Sagittarius. Your creative responses are honed to razor sharpness. Sagittarius helps you become popular, helps in success where the opposite sex is concerned, and aids in dealing with young persons. With Sagittarius, you have a feeling of wanting to break through, to attain complete self-expression. You lose patience with restrictions, delays. You exhibit a tendency, Leo, to throw caution out of the window. This tendency, carried to extremes, becomes plain recklessness and could lead to loss, trouble, disappointment, and disillusionment. The key, of course, is to obtain a balance, to be willing to do your best at the right time and place, and not merely to show off, not merely to impress. The key is to be ready, prepared, to give the best of your creative self, and not a hurried, improvised performance. In all, Leo and Sagittarius are harmonious. The Sagittarius Jupiter and the Leo Sun do spell pleasure and success, and there is great opportunity for a lasting, meaningful relationship featuring numerous mutual interests. With Capricorn, the relationship is unique. Capricorn persons very often are your lovers, helpers, fellow workers. But Leo, you tend to feel buried by the relationship. The Capricorn Saturn and your Leo Sun point to seriousness of purpose. And Leo, if you are not really serious with Capricorn, you should be prepared to suffer the consequences. Capricorn scorned is like a jealous woman scorned, a slow build-up of resentment, which ultimately boils over, and you, Leo, could get hurt. Capricorn accents that part of your chart related to work, service, pets, well-being, or the lack of it. Capricorn emphasizes your capacity to render service, to get along with co-workers. Also, Capricorn helps you to appreciate being served, helps you enjoy what is given you, provided for you. Capricorn helps you obtain a more practical outlook, which at times, Leo, you sorely need. Capricorn gives you a special regard for health, vitality, for your general attractiveness. Capricorn provides an element of discipline because you do want to be at your best. tendency exists for you to go to extremes in this relationship. It is either hot or cold, with little or no in between. Generally, Capricorn and Leo learn from each other, and the combination is especially good for the completion of major projects. The two signs work well together. Whether the work relationship can be carried over to the personal level depends upon the determination each exhibits, both the Leo and the Capricorn. Aquarius people attract you in the manner that opposites attract opposites. With Aquarius there is excitement, the excitement of discovery. The Aquarius Uranus and your Leo Sun combine to provide sparkle, inventiveness, independence. But Leo and Aquarius also can clash. Both are fixed signs. Both want to lead rather than follow. Aquarius touches that part of your solar chart which activates public appearances, marriage, partnerships, contracts, public relations, and advertising. With Aquarius, your personality is emphasized. You become aware of how you appear to the public. You become aware of human relations, problems, how to cope with opposition. Listen, Leo, Aquarius can be a dilemma because you can't always get through. Aquarius can be exasperating to you because you don't always know what kind of impression you're making, if any. The Leo-Aquarius combination is fascinating because it represents sudden action, exciting decisions, the testing of people, products, ideas. You can, Leo, see yourself mirrored through the reactions of an Aquarian. That is, the way an Aquarian reacts to you represents, in many significant ways, the way the populace at large is apt to respond. Aquarius becomes your sounding board. You test, chide, cajole, try, withdraw, go forward. And Leo, at times you seem to be going in circles as far as this relationship is concerned. With Aquarius, you are creative. You put thoughts on paper and try out ideas. Success isn't always the result, but neither is boredom where Leo and Aquarius enter the picture. Pisces persons mystify you. They are intriguing because you feel they not only possess secrets of their own, but hold your secret. There is power in this combination, but it is a case of the fire of Leo and the water of Pisces, of the Leo Sun and the Pisces Neptune, which symbolically tells a story of dynamic, direct action, of a forward thrust which doesn't quite seem to go all the way. Pisces touches that part of your solar horoscope associated with mysteries, legacies, the money of other persons, sexual attraction, and the hidden or occult. With Pisces, there is responsibility. You become concerned with money, material goods, and it appears Pisces would be a fine person with whom to combine talents. Applies especially to the manufacture, promotion, or selling of books associated with astrology, the occult, or with the production of motion pictures. Pisces causes you to emphasize mystery, behind-the-scenes activity, touches that part of your chart related to investments which are hidden, meaning hidden products, underground elements. This could be oil or range from mystery stories to television commercials. Pisces helps awaken you. Pisces helps improve your outlook. Pisces sparks your creative urge. And Leo, whenever that happens, you can regard it as favorable. With Pisces, the relationship can be intriguing, and it always has somewhat of a practical base. And Leo, this is all to the good.